Hi everyone, welcome to CAT 2024 Slot 1 QA section. Well, the response sheet is just out a couple of hours back and we are here to shoot the first slot 1 QA. The QA section, when people spoke about that, it was pretty simple, very similar to CAT 21 paper and all. I would suggest that it was not that easy. There were a couple of questions which were pretty difficult. And also, the only reason people called it a little bit easy, that the questions which were difficult it was easy to identify that this is a difficult question and you could have left that alone. Obviously, as usual, I'll try and classify the questions A, B, C as I go ahead. Let's have a look at the first question. The first question is, if a plus b root n is the positive square root of 29 minus 12 root 5, where a and b are integers and n is a natural number. So a, b are both integers, so they could be positive or negative both, but n is a natural number, then the maximum possible value of a plus b plus n is how much? Okay, let's now think a little bit. First of all, they've told us a plus b root n is the positive square root of 29 minus 12 root 5. Now, I need to simplify this 29 minus 12 root 5. There was a concept which we have in our concept videos also, is the square root of a plus 2 root b. Right? Based on that concept, we will have to simplify this. So, instead of the 12, I need to make it 2. So, how does that happen? It will become 29 minus 2 into 6 into root 5. Now, I will have to take the 6 inside the root. Square of 6 is 36, so it will go inside the root, it will become 36. So, it will be 29 minus 2, 36 5 will become root 180. Now, I need to write this in the form of, there's a negative over here. So, I need to split up 29 into two numbers, that is, sum of two numbers should be 29 and their product should be 180. Why? Because I basically want to write it as then a square plus b square minus 2ab. So, two numbers whose product is 180 and sum is 29. Luckily, the numbers are pretty straightforward over here, 20 and 9. That means I will be able to write this as 20 plus 9 minus 2 root 20 into root 9. Right? Now, 20 can be written as root 20 the whole square, which can also be written as 2 root 5 the whole square. You can do that later, that 2 root 5 part. Right now, you can write this as root 20 square plus 3 square minus 2 into root 20 into 3. Now, if you look very carefully, we have got it in the form of a square plus b square minus 2ab. A square plus b square minus 2ab. Over here, only a is there is no root over here with a, so a is a rational part. So, I'm just going to take the 3 in the front. So, instead of writing as root 20 square plus 3 square, I'm going to write as 3 square plus root 20 square. So, now if you look what we've got a square plus b square minus 2ab. How can this whole thing be written as a minus b the whole square? So, it will be root 20 minus 3 the whole square. Remember, they also said it is a positive square root. We could have written as 3 minus root 20 also, but then it will become negative square root. So, hence you write it as root 20 minus 3 the whole square. Now, if you remove the square root on the square, you will get a plus b root n is root 20 minus 3. But you'll have to arrange it because this is the rational part over here. So, you'll have to write as negative 3 plus 1 root 20. Negative 3, not the root sign is not there. So, negative 3 plus 1 root 20. So, now if I compare both sides, I'll get a is minus 3, b as 1 and c as 20. Since I had to maximize a plus b plus n, this is not c, this is n is 20. Therefore, a plus b plus n would become 18. And that would be the third option. Let's have a look at the second question. After many years, remainder has made a comeback in CAT, and I thought this was a very straightforward question of remainders. So, let's quickly have a look at it. So, 10 raised to 100 divided by 7, what is the remainder? First thing first, 10 is more than 7. So, you can divide 10 by 7 and work only on the remainder. I'm sure you've gone through the remainder concepts and everything, understood remainders. So, hence I'm not showing you the detailed part. This can directly be written as 3 raised to 100 divided by 7. Now, powers of 3 which leave a remainder 1 or minus 1. Do we have any powers of 3? So 3 raised to 1 divided by 7 will obviously leave a remainder 3. 3 raised to 2 divided by 7, that is 9 divided by 7 will leave a remainder 2. 3 raised to 3 is 27. 27 divided by 7 leaves a remainder of 6 or minus 1. I am okay with the remainder of minus 1. That should be good enough for me. So I can write 3 raised to 100 as 3 raised to 3 raised to 33 into 3 raised to 1 divided by 7. Now pay attention very carefully. What will we get? 3 raised to 3 is 27. 27 divided by 7 leaves a remainder minus 1. So we have a minus 1 raised to 3 into 3 divided by 7. So final remainder we are getting is minus 3. But when you are dividing by minus 3, the remainder minus 3 is as good as remainder of 4. And hence the answer is the third option. What after this step, some of you all could have also done one extra step and made it slightly different. So we know that 9 divided by 7 is remainder 2. So 3 raised to 100 is as good as 9 raised to 50 divided by 7. So this becomes 2 raised to 50 divided by 7. 2 cube is 8, right? 8 divided by 7 will leave a remainder 1. So you can write this as 2 cube raised to 16 into 2 square divided by 7. 8 divided by 7 leaves a remainder 1. 1 raised to anything is 1 into 2 square is 4, and hence my remainder is 4, which is the third option. So this was a pretty straightforward question, definitely a level A question. Even though remainders has come after a long time, maybe some of you all have not gone through the details of remainder, but still basic of remainder, a lot of people should have known, and that is why this question was a A level. Looking at the next question, looks like a question of functions. Consider two sets A and B, where A has 6 elements and B has 3 elements. Let f be a function from A to B, so that for every element B in B, there is at least one element in A, such that f of A is equal to B. Then the total number of such functions is what? Now this question, I'm sure a lot of people left it just thinking it was a question of functions, but actually was a question from permutation combination, and I think across all the 3 slots, maybe one of the most difficult questions to interpret and understand. So basically, if I have to now interpret this question, it is as if, there are 6 distinct objects. So 6 distinct, say, marbles or whatever. Okay. Has to be put in 3 distinct boxes where none of the boxes can be empty. Now, very important, basically that is where at least one element has to be there. Once you realize this part, then maybe it is a question you have done earlier, which still was not very easy. Okay, so what are the different ways in which I can put 6 objects into 3 boxes where none of the boxes are empty? Let's take the worst case. So the worst case would be there is 1 in one of them, 1 in another, and 4 in the third one. So 1 object in the first box, 1 object in the second box, and 4 objects in the third. So what would be the different ways in which the first object which has to be selected can be selected in 6C one ways. The second object can be selected in 5C one ways. The last object can be selected in 4C 4 ways, which anyway is nothing but one way. 4C 4 is one way. And then the 3 boxes over here can be arranged among themselves. So 1, 1, 4 can be arranged in 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial, normal repetition concept. So into 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial ways. 1, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 1. Those will be the 3 ways over here. So 6C1 is 6, 5C1 is 5, into 1, into 6. That will become how much? 3 factorial upon 3 factorial is 3, sorry, not 6. That is 33s are 90 ways. That will be the first thing. 1, 1, 4. Now the other way I can do is I could still have 1 over here, 2 over here, and 3 over here. So it will be 6C1 into 5C2 into 3C3 into all 3 boxes are distinct. The number of balls in all 3 boxes are distinct. So the arrangement will be 3 factorial ways. 6C1 is 6, 5C2 is 10 into 1 into 6 ways. So that will be 360 ways. The last would be 2, 2 and 2. That will be the only third possibility left. So we will have 6C2 into 4C2 into 2C2 into 3 factorial divided by 3 factorial, because 2, 2, 2 can be arranged in only one way. So hence that will be 6C2 will be 15, 4C2 will be 6, 2C2 will be 1 into 1 and 90 ways. And these are the only 3 ways it can be done in, and the answer for this comes out to be 540, which is the fourth option. According to me, definitely a level C. You want to call it something above C also. There is no doubt it was definitely a very difficult question. But the best part was that it looked like a difficult question. Nowhere was it, that, oh, this question looks easy, let me try it and all. Hence, most of y'all would have skipped it directly. Let's have a look at the next question. The next question is a question from geometry. The surface area of a closed rectangular box which is inscribed in a sphere. So the box is a cuboid. It's inscribed in a sphere is 846 square meter. So box cuboid. What is the surface area of a cuboid? 2 LH plus BH plus LB is 846. Let's leave it over here. This is the first thing which I know. And the sum of the length of all its edges. How many edges are there? How many times will the length come, the breadth come in a box? Now, if you think very carefully, in a box, everything will come 4 times. So 4 times the length plus breadth plus height is 144. This will cut over here. 4 1s are 4, 3s are 12, 36. So length plus breadth plus height is 36, which is the second equation. We want to find the volume of the sphere. Volume of sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube, which means in short I need my radius. Now, what is the concept we'll think? Now, just imagine if you have a sphere inside which there is a box, the longest diagonal will become the diameter. The longest diagonal or the body diagonal of the box will become the diameter of the sphere. I'll write it over here also. The longest diagonal, or as I said, the body diagonal, will be the diameter of the sphere, right? So we've got that. Now, longest diagonal should not be a big problem. What is the formula for longest diagonal? It is square root of L square plus B square plus H square. So in short, from these two things, I want to find L square plus B square plus H square. Then I'll go to square root. So what is the formula? If I take squares for L plus B plus H the whole square. So L plus B plus H the whole square is L square plus B square plus H square plus 2 times LH plus BH plus LB. This is 36. 36 square will be 1296. This whole thing is 846, including the 2. So bring it on the other side, becomes minus 846 is L square plus B square plus H square. That will become how much? 450. 450 is L square plus B square plus H square. So root of L square plus B square plus H square will be root of 450. 450 is 225 2s are 225 ka square root is 15. So this is 15 root 2. So my diameter is 15 root 2, right? So radius will be half of that, 15 by 2 root 2. I want to find the volume of the sphere, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 pi is then the option as it is, so I'll just leave that. 15 by 2 root 2 the whole cube. So 3 times 15 by 2 and 1 more root 2. So root 2 into root 2 is 2. So 1 2 will cut out over here. 3 1s are 3 5s are will cut out. 2 2s are 4 will cut out over here. So in the numerator, I'm left with a pi, I'm left with a 5, I am left with 2 15s and a root 2. Nothing else, right? So we are left with a 5, 15, 15 and a root 2. 15 15s are we know is 225, 225 5s are should be 1125. So answer is 1125 pi into root 2, which is the fourth option. Not very straightforward, so I'm going to put it as level B question. Not very difficult also. It's a standard concept, the diagonal being the diameter. So, but it's still not very straightforward. Not want to put it as a level A question. So, level B question, answer being the fourth option. Let's have a look at the next question. The sum of all 4 digits of a number that can be formed with distinct non-zero digits A, B, C, D, with each digit appearing exactly once in every number, is given as 153310 plus n, where n is a single digit natural number, then what is the value of a plus b plus c plus d plus n? Looks difficult. You know, the first thought as you are reading the sum is that it's pretty confusing what they're trying to say and all that. So first, let's understand what is the sum of any 4-digit number. Suppose using 4 digits, if I make all the possible numbers. So using A, B, C, D, only once, every number once. How many different numbers can you make? You can make 24 numbers, which is 4 factorial. Like the first number is A, B, C, D, then it can be A, B, D, C, right? Then A, C, B, D, A, C, D, B, then A, D, B, C, A, D, C, B, and so on, so on, so on. Now A was in the first place, A will come in the second place, and so you're going to get 24 numbers. Now, when you actually add them all, think logically what will you get. This is very important. So you start adding them from here, right? So what will you get? You will get in the units place, you will get A 6 times, like how here you're getting A in the thousands place 6 times. So there will obviously be A 6 times in the last place also. Every digit will come in every place 6 times. So the sum of all the digits in the last place will be 6a plus 6b plus 6c plus 6d, and it is a units place, so it will get multiplied by 1. So 6 times a plus b plus c plus d will be the sum of all these digits. Same way, what will be the sum of all these digits? The digits will be 6 times a plus b plus c plus d only, but they are in the tens place, so the value will get multiplied by 10. So it will become 60 times a plus b plus c plus d. Same way when I do it over here, it will come the same thing. It will come 600 times a plus b plus c plus d, and the last thing will come 6,000 times a plus b plus c plus d. So the sum of all the numbers, sum of all 4-digit numbers that can be formed will come out to be 6,666 a plus b plus c plus d. So this is the sum of all 4-digit numbers which can be formed with distinct non-zero digits a, b, c, d, which is given equal to 153310 plus n, where n is a single digit number. Now very important, because n is a single digit number, this whole thing 6666 into a plus b plus c plus d is 153310. So what did I do after this step? I simply took a calculator and I divided this with 66666. So I'll just tell you also approximately what I got. I got approximately 22.99. So I knew that 23 into this number will give me a number close to 153310, slightly more than it, and that is what happened. So I got 6666 into 23. So use of calculator in this question was equal to 153318. What does that tell me? That n was 8, therefore n became 8, and this whole bracket a plus c b plus c plus d became 23. So n is 8 and a plus b plus c plus d is 23. They've asked us for a plus b plus c plus d plus n, therefore answer becomes 31. Again, not something which I expect you all to crack in an exam situation. Most of you all in fact would have left it after seeing it. Level C question, not easy at all. Let's have a look at the next question. One very, very, very straightforward question from geometry. ABCD is a rectangle with side AB 56 and BC 45. So ABCD, where this is 56 and this is 45. E is the midpoint of CD. So E being the midpoint over here, this will come 28 and 28. Then what is the length of the in radius of triangle ADE? In radius of triangle. So triangle AD is a right angle triangle. The in radius of a right angle triangle is A plus B minus C upon 2. If you knew this formula, you would have saved a lot more time than doing by the regular approach. Now this is 28 and this is 45. So the only thing I need to get is C over here. That is using Pythagoras theorem. So you'll get C square is 48 square 45 square plus 28 square. 45 square is 4 5s are 20, 2025. 28 square is 784. That's 9, 10, 2809. Now, when I look at 2809, it is definitely more than 50. 50 square is 2500. And 55 square, you can obviously use the calculator, but just teaching you some things. 55 square is 3025. So this is less than 55, but more than 50, the square root of that. So therefore, this I know is definitely 53. Okay. So you can check that also. 53 square is 2809 or not. So we got C is 53. Apply it in this formula. You will get 45 plus 28 minus 53 divided by 2. That is 70, right? 60, 73 minus 53. 73 minus 53 is 10. 10 divided by, 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So therefore, the in radius is 10. It was a theta question. I thought this was a very, very straightforward question. Should have got this. I would put this as level A question. Okay. On the worst side, if you did not know this formula, you could have done area of the triangle is equal to ABC upon 4R, which also would lead to the same answer. Radius is 10. Let's have a look at the next question. Very straightforward question from simple interest. Again, definitely a level A. And this is what I was telling you about the test. The questions which are very easy were obviously very easy, and the questions which are difficult were obviously very difficult. So it was easy to leave the difficult questions and attempt the easier ones. An amount of rupees 10,000 is deposited in a bank for a certain number of years. So I don't know the number of years, at a rate of 5% per annum. So 10,000 rupees deposited at 5% per annum for n years, say. We don't know how many years. So the total simple interest earned would be 500n, simple PNR upon 100, right? On maturity, the total amount received, that means the 10,000 plus the 500n, is deposited in the bank for another 5 years. So 10,000 plus 500n is deposited for 5 years at 6%, right? So what would be the interest over here? Again, use the PNR upon 100 formula, or use 6% for 1 year. So 5 years, 30%. 30% of this amount will be 3,000 plus 150n, right? What have they said after that? If the interest received from bank A and bank B are in the ratio of 10:13, so both the interest 500n upon 3000 plus 150n is in the ratio 10:13, 100 cut, cross multiply, 50 into 13 is 650n, is 150n plus 3000. 650n minus 150n is 500n, is equal to 3000. Therefore, n is equal to 6, which is the third option. No doubt about it, level A question. Let's have a look at one more question from ratios, percentages, which was not very difficult. Slightly long to read, just because, there were few things more to read. Otherwise, the question was pretty straightforward. In September, the income of Kamal, Amal and Vimal are in the ratio 8:6:5. They rent a house and Kamal pays 15%, Amal pays 20% and 18% of their respective incomes. Now, very important, of their respective incomes. That is the important part. To cover the total house in that rent. So whatever was the income, out of that they pay 15%, 12% and so on. In another month, in October, the house rent remains unchanged. So the rent of the house remains unchanged while their incomes increase by 10, 12 and 15%. In October, the percentage of their total income that will be paid as house rent will be what? So house rent divided by their total income will be how much? So let's start with some numbers. Let the incomes be 800, 600 and 500. So what was the rent they were paying? Kamal pays 15%. 15 8 is 120 rupees. 12%. 12 6 is 72 rupees. 18 5 is 90 rupees. So the total rent being paid was 282. Let's just check that again. 210, 282. Yeah, 282 is the house rent. Salaries or income in October. What will that become? Now, for Kamal, it is increasing by 10%. So 800 plus this 10% or will be 880, 10% extra. 12% is 72 only, so it will become 672. And for the last person, it will be 500 plus 15%, so 575. 15% of 500 is 575. So the total salary was how much? 880 plus 672 plus 575. That will be 7 over here. 14 plus 8, 22, 2 carry, 10, 10 plus 11, 21, 2127. So the total income became 2127. Now, question asked is what is the percentage? Approximately that also. So percentage is rent upon new income into 100. Now, again, you have the calculator, you can use it or you can avoid it. So this is below 13, this is above 13, 14, 15. So I just need to check, will it go to 14% or 15% roughly? So, or 13%, whatever. So 282 into 13 is how much you can. So you can just check 2127, cut 10%, we know is 10% will be 212. Now, if you have already taken 212, you're left with roughly 70, which is going to be roughly 1/3. So I would go directly for 13.26%, but in an exam situation, I will always advise you to check it on the calculator. No rush for such a small thing. Obviously, if you're giving some other test like a ZAT or something, you can just do the calculations roughly by checking whether it is 13% or not. So you just need to do 2127 into 13% is how much, and you will get an approximate answer, and you will realize that it cannot go to 14. Answer the fourth option. Again, I thought this was a very straightforward question, level A question. There are a lot of level B and level C's also. So this was one of the A's. Arithmetic, again, as usual, appears in 8 or 9 questions, but the important part, as I always keep saying, is that arithmetic was very straightforward. Let's have a look at the next question. The next question is from graphs, area, inequalities, lot of things. In the xy plane, the area in square units of the region defined by the inequality so and so is what? So let's look at the first part. Y is greater than x plus 4. Y is greater than x plus 4, greater than or equal to x plus 4. So first, that is obviously going to be a line. So y is greater than x plus 4. Where will the line pass from? Which quadrant? Now, if you look at these points over here, y is greater than x 0, 4. That means y is greater than x by 4, and minus 4, 0 over here also y is greater than x by 4. So now when I say this is the line, greater, that means the area which I am looking at will be all this area, right? That is only if this line was considered. Now, what about the other part? That was a slightly difficult one. This was still doable, right? Now, let's look at this one. Minus 4 less than or equal to x square plus y square plus 4x minus 4y less than or equal to 0. Now, over here, I needed to make it perfect square. What do I need with x square plus 4x to make it a perfect square? I need a plus 4. And with y square minus 4y also I need a plus 4 to make it a perfect square. So that I can write it in the form of an equation of a circle. So I need to add 8 over here in between. So obviously I'll have to add 8 here and here. So if I add 8 everywhere, I'll get 4 over here. This will become x square plus 4x plus 4 plus y square minus 4y plus 4 less than or equal to 8. Now, what have we got? 4 less than or equal to? This will become x plus 2 the whole square, and this will become y minus 2 the whole square less than or equal to 8. So, this is the equation. If I look at only at this much, this is the equation of a circle with center at minus 2, 2. Minus 2, 2 will be in the third quadrant, and radius r square is 4. So, radius will be 2. So, that will be my first circle. Minus 2, 2 will come on this line only, and that circle with radius 2 is formed over here. The second circle also will have, and now the area is greater than this. Now, see, if you look at this, greater than this, that means outside the circle. If I look only at this much, it is x plus 2 the whole square plus y minus 2 the whole square is greater than or equal to 4. That means all the area which is outside the circle we will have to take. And the other circle, x plus 2 less than x plus 2 the whole square plus y minus 2 the whole square less than or equal to 8. So radius will be 2 root 2 because this is 8 is r square. So 2 root 2. Now the other circle, if you notice, it will pass directly through this. Maybe the smaller circle is not exactly to size, but that's okay. This is just for understanding purposes. And because it is less than 8, it will be inside the circle. That means outside this circle, outside the smaller circle and inside the bigger circle. So the area which we need for shade, the area which we definitely want to find is this part, right? So it is nothing but area of the ring, half a ring, that also. Area of the bigger semicircle minus area of the smaller semicircle. So it will be half pi capital R square minus small r square. Radius we know is 2 root 2 and 2, and squares are 8 and 4. So half pi capital R square will be 8, small r square will be 4. 8 minus 4 is 2. So answer will be 2 pi, which will be the first option. What level? Definitely a C plus plus, whatever level you want to put it at. Again, no ways were you able to think of this part that I have to add 8 on all the sides, get that as a circle and think of it. Obviously, they were going to make you draw a circle, so it was going to be a difficult question to really look at. I would have left this question alone in the test situation. Let's have a look at one more question from Algebra. And now this was a pretty difficult question, very difficult to think of what they were actually wanting you to do. Let x, y, z be real numbers satisfying a particular condition. 4 times x square plus y square plus z square is a, and 4 times x minus y minus z is 3 plus a. Then what does a equal to? Now, to find a, I had to find more or less x plus x, y, z. So how do I figure that out? Let's try. What I did was I subtracted these two equations, which in short was eliminating a, whether you use it by substitution or by subtraction, is more or less the same thing. If you open the bracket and subtract, what will you get? 4x square plus 4y square plus 4z square minus 4x plus 4y plus 4z is equal to minus 3. So can I write it as plus 3 is equal to 0? Now, till here it was okay. The next step I thought was the one which was like literally impossible to think of, which was very, very difficult. So we've got 4x square and 4x, and if I split this 3 up as 1, 1, 1. So what will I get? 4x square minus 4x plus 1 in one bracket plus 4y square plus 4y plus 1 in the second bracket plus 4z square plus 4z plus 1 in the third bracket. Now let's see what have we got. What have we got? This is nothing but 2x minus 1 the whole square. So 2x minus 1 the whole square, 2y plus 1 the whole square plus 2z plus 1 the whole square is 0. Now, sum of 3 squares is 0. Sum of 3 real number ka squares is 0. Now, which means the only possibility is all 3 are equal to 0, because they cannot be negative. The squares cannot be negative. So we've got 2x minus 1 is 0. Therefore, x is half. 2y plus 1 is 0. So y is minus half. And 2z plus 1 is 0. So z is also minus half. So we've got two of them as half, one as half and two others as minus half. I want to find a. So I can simply go to the first equation, because square of all of them will be 1 by 4 only. So I've got 4 into 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. That is 1 by 4 3 times. 4, 4 cut out, which is equal to a, and therefore a is equal to 3, which is the first option. Very frankly, no way are you going to be able to think of such a question in the exam situation. Definitely a level C. Look at the question and say, doesn't look very doable, just leave it immediately. Let's have a look at the next question. The selling price, so profit and loss. The selling price of a product is fixed to ensure 40% profit. That means you marked it up at 40%. So if cost price was 100, the selling price was planned to be 140. Because there's a real number at the later stage, okay, let's read, I'll continue and tell you what to do. If the product had cost 40% less, so if the cost price was 60 instead of 100 and had been sold for 5 rupees less, because of this 5 rupees, what I did was I immediately took x everywhere. That means if I say if the selling price was 140 my x minus 5, then the resulting profit would have been 50%. When profit is 50%, can I say my selling price is 3 by 2 of my cost price? My selling price is 3 by 2 of my cost price. So 140x minus 5 upon 60x is 3 by 2. 2 ones are 2 30s are. So we've got 140x minus 5 is equal to 90x. So we've got 50x is equal to 5. X is 0.1. What do they want us to find? They want us to find the original selling price. Original selling price was 140x. So 140 into 0.1, which is 14, which is the second option. Again, you could do a lot of different approaches. Somebody would have continued doing with 100, 140, 60, and then took this as 90. Just let me explain that approach also to you if you want. I can show you that approach also. Just clear off all this from the screen. So the other method was initial cost price was 100, selling price was 140. This fell to 60 and the profit was 50%. That means this was 90. According to us, this difference is 50. But according to them, that difference is 5. So just divide everything by 10. That means if you divide everything by 10, the original selling price becomes 14, which is the second option. So whichever method you prefer, this is a much faster approach. Whatever you prefer, you can do, answer being the second option and the question being a level A question. Let's have a look at the next question. A fruit seller had a total of 187 fruits, apples, mangoes and oranges. The number of apples and mangoes are in the ratio 5:2. After she sells 75 apples, 26 mangoes and half of the oranges, the ratio of the number of unsold apples to the number of unsold oranges becomes 3:2. Let's start. Suppose if I start with apples as 5x and mangoes as 2x, 5:2. And this becomes 187 minus 7x oranges. Now what is sold? 75 apples are sold. So balance is how much? 5x minus 75. Mangoes, very frankly, I don't even need to waste my time on because that I don't need now. Or I'll need it at some stage. So let's write it 26 minus 2x minus 26. Half of this is sold. So half of 187 minus 7x is sold. So balance is also obviously half of 187 minus 7x. And this ratio, unsold apples to unsold oranges, is 3:2. So 5x minus 75 upon half of 187 minus 7x is 3:2. This 2 will go on top. So we'll get, if I cross multiply, I'll get 4 into 5x minus 75 is 3 into 187 minus 7x. So that's 20x minus 300. 187 3s are 187, 540 plus 21, 561 minus 21x. So that's 41x is 861. 41 into what number will give me 861? I think 21. Therefore, x comes out to be 21. Read very carefully what have they asked for. Don't just mark 21 as the answer because it's a theta question. Number of unsold fruits. So unsold fruits is over here, this plus this plus this. So that part was slightly tedious. Do it very carefully. Number of apples unsold. I'm just going to write that over here. Number of apples unsold, 5x minus 75. That is 105 minus 75. 30. 30. 2x minus 26. 42 minus 26 is 16. And 187 minus 7x and half of that. So 187 minus 147 is 40. Half of 40 is 20. So that's 66. It's a theta question. So answer is 66. Easy question, but a lot of calculations and you have to do it very carefully. I would put it as level B and not a level A question because there were chances of making mistake. Somebody could have also used a third variable over here. So let the total number of oranges be 2y and you would have got two equations to solve them, which also was okay. Either way, the number of calculations at the end would have been kind of a little bit tedious. Let's have a look at the next question. x1, x2, x3 up till x100 is a AP, arithmetic progression, where they have given us the fifth term directly and they have given one more relationship. Then what does x100 equal to? It was a straightforward question using your regular method. No shortcuts, no smart methods, just use your regular methods. Fifth term is minus 4. What is the fifth term in a AP? A plus n minus 1 into d, right? So a plus 4d is minus 4. fifth term. That's the first equation, leave it over there. 2 times x6, I can take 2 common also, x6. Sixth term is a plus 5d. Ninth term is a plus 8d is equal to 11th plus 13th term. 11th term is a plus 10d plus a plus 12d. So 2 times 2a plus 13d is 2a plus 22d divided by 2. So this 2 will cut here, I'll get a plus 11d. So 2a minus a is a is equal to negative 2d. Just leave it over there. So put a as negative 2d over here, what will we get? Right? So we'll get, putting a as negative 2d, so I'll get negative 2d plus 4d is negative 4. 2d is minus 4 and d is minus 2. D is minus 2, therefore a will become 4. They want us to find the 100th term. 100th term will be a plus 99d, that is 4 plus 99 into minus 2. Negative 198 plus 4, negative 194, which is the first option. If you were doing the regular approach, not trying any shortcuts or anything, this was definitely level A. Yes, maybe a little bit long, but not very difficult. When you look at the question, you should know you'll get it because you're going to get 2 equations for A and D. Let's have a look at the next question. For any natural number n, let an be the largest integer not exceeding root n. Then the value of a1 to a50 is what? Now, again, the confusion would have been only this part where people did not understand what this means. So, an can be less than or equal to root n. So, when I take n as 1, so a1 is either less than or equal to root 1. Root 1 is 1 only. So, then I can take it as 1, right? So, a1 comes out to be 1. Now, a2 will be less than or equal to root 2. It's the largest integer, remember. Root 2 we know is 1.4 roughly, right? So, if I take it approximately as 1.4, it has to be less than or equal to that. Now, and it has to be an integer, so therefore a2 will also come out to be 1. Same way, look at a3. It is less than or equal to root 3, which is 1.7 approximately. So, a3 also comes out to be 1. But a4 will come out to be 2. a4 will come out to be 2 because when I take 4, square root of 4 is 2. Now, till when will this 2 continue? Till a8, because square root of 8 will be less than 3. So, till a8, I'll keep getting 2 only. So, a5 will be 2, a6 will be 2, a7 will be 2, a8 will be 2. Then a9 onwards, everything will start becoming 3. Till when? Till a15, because at 16, it will become 4. So, now this is what we have to find out. Basically, 1 came 3 times. So, the total became 3 because first 3 numbers, the square root was less than 2. So, 3 numbers. Then till 8. So, the next 5 numbers, square root was 2. So, 2 5s are or 5 2s are whatever 10. Then till 15. That means the next 7 numbers. The answer was, the next 7 numbers, the answer was 3. So, 3 7s are 21. See, 1 was the answer for 3 numbers, 2 was the answer for 5 numbers, 3 is the answer for 7 numbers. Now, this is still 15. Then, from 16 to 24, that is 9 numbers. For the next 9 numbers, the answer was 4. And here you should realize that this is the pattern 3, 5, 7, 9. For the next 11 numbers, the answer would be 5. So, what have we got? How many numbers have we got? We've got 20, we've got 35, right? For the next 11 numbers, the answer was 5. Now, for the next 13 numbers, the answer will be 6. But do we need 13 numbers? Yes, I think we need 13 numbers. This was 20, 35. So, 48 we have reached. 6 into 13 is 78. Now, that means we have already finished 48 numbers. There are only 2 numbers left. So, the next 2 numbers, that is A49 and A50. Both of them will be how much? They will be 7. Because square root of 49 is 7, square root of 50 is just above 7, so 7 only. So last two numbers will be 7 each, so 14. Add up all this to get your answer. 3 plus 1, 4, 10, 15, 15 plus 8, 23, 23 plus 4, 27, 2 carry, 3, 5, 8, 8 plus 5, 13, 13 plus 8, 21. And the answer is 217. Not easy at all in an exam situation to figure out this. The ones who figured out would have maybe still taken some time. So somewhere between a B or a C. For most of y'all would have maybe not figured this part out. The ones who figured out also took a little bit time. Hence the answer is, the level of the question is B or C. Let's have a look at the next question. Looks like a pretty doable question from Indices. Just convert everything to base 2. So 1 by 8, 8 is 2 cube. It will go up in the numerator, it will become 2 raised to minus 3k. 1 upon 32,768. For the ones who don't know, would have tried solving it and would have got it that 32,768 is nothing but 2 raised to 15. Again, we'll go in the numerator, it will become 2 raised to minus 15 into 1 by 3 is equal to same 2 raised to minus 3 multiply by 2 raised to minus 15 into 1 by k. This 3 ones are 3 5s are cuts over here, nothing else is cutting. Using law of indices, we get 2 raised to minus 3k minus 5 is 2 raised to minus 3 minus 15 upon k. Base is same, so indices can be equated. Minus 3k minus 5 is equal to minus 3 minus 15 by k. Minus 3k plus 15 by k or minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2 is 3k minus 15 by k. Take LCM, so we've got minus 2 is equal to 3k square minus 15 upon k. Making a quadratic, 0 is equal to 3k square plus 2k minus 15, right? What have they asked for? Read the question very carefully. That was very important, in fact, in this question. After this, instead of wasting your time solving further, they've asked for sum of all real values of k. Now, we know k will have two values because it's a quadratic equation. I just need to check whether it's real or not. Anyway, there was no 0. So, I'm assuming the values were real. Now, sum of all values of k, that means sum of the roots. So, alpha plus beta is minus b by a and negative 2 by 3. Lot of students would have wasted the time over here solving this by formula method and then again adding alpha and beta and getting this answer only. So, that was the thing you could have avoided. Answer was the first option. Except the last step, everything else was pretty straightforward. Maybe for the last step you want to give it a B, otherwise it was a level A question. Let's have a look at the next question. Now the next question was definitely a bonus for all IMS students. You all should have blindly gone and marked the answer to this question as 42. It is a sum directly from your material. Same numbers, everything same. Except grains, it was something else and the answer was 42 and you should have marked it like in 1 second and would have just gone ahead if you had done your book well. And I am talking about the class exercises, so literally out of your class exercise. So now let's go ahead and do it for the ones who haven't seen it well. A shop wants to sell a certain quantity in kg of grains. It sells half the quantity and an additional 3 kg to the first customer. So whatever was available, if you want, I'll show you the long method also and then the shortcut maybe to it. Whatever was available after that, they gave half and they gave balance 3 more kg to the first customer. So yeah, let's look at the longer method and the shorter method. So let's assume you had x kgs. So what was given to the first customer? X by 2 and 3 was given. So what is the balance? So from x, if I give away x by 2, I'll be left with x by 2. So balance would be x by 2 minus 3, right? Balance would be x by 2 minus 3. Half out of this is again given to the second customer. So second customer gets x by 4 minus 3 by 2 and 3 more, which is nothing but x by 4 plus 3 by 2. So this is what the second customer gets. So what is the balance after the second customer gets? This minus this, x by 2 minus x by 4 will give you x by 4 and minus 3 minus 3 by 2, right? We have to subtract. So x by 2 minus x by 4 is x by 4 minus 3 by 2. That will be negative 9 by 2, negative 6 minus 3 minus 9 by 2. Now what happens to the third customer? So what is the third customer going to get? Half of this, that is x by 8 minus 9 by 4 plus 3. So what is the balance according to us? This minus this, x by 4 minus x by 8 will be x by 8 minus 9 by 2 minus plus 9 by 4 will give me a negative 9 by 4 minus 9 by 2 plus 9 by 4 will give me negative 9 by 4 and then a minus 3. So that will be negative 9 plus 12, negative 21 by 4. And this balance was equal to 0 because nothing was left off. So if you take 8 as the LCM, you will get x, 8 is the LCM, x minus 42 upon 8 is 0. So x is equal to 42, which is the third option. Well, this should not have been the method to do in the exam situation. Let's see what you should have done. Even if you do not know the best method to do this, I would have done this sum maybe by options. So if 18 were there initially, customer 1 gets 9, that is half, plus 3, 12. So balance is 6. Out of 6, the customer 2 gets what? 3 and then 3 more. So 6. So balance is 0. So only out of 2 the balance becomes 0. But they had said after 3 the balance becomes 0. So this is not my answer. 36. If I give 18 half plus 3, 21. So 36 minus 21, 15 is left. I can't even make half of that. So that's not my answer. 42. I give 21 plus 3. So I give 24 and 18 is left. And you already checked with 18 that after 2 steps it will give 0. So here exactly after 3 steps it will give 0 and hence the answer is third option. That was the method a lot of students could have done in the exam situation. The other and the easiest approach, if you knew that, would have been going backwards, is you had 0 and just before that, before you gave the 3, you had 3. Then you had double of that, 6. Because when you had 6, you gave 3 plus 3 and it became 0. Then again, what will you do? Add 3, double it, 18. Add 3, 21, double it, 42. And this was the answer. So anybody who knew this approach would get this sum maybe in what, like 30 or 45 seconds. The ones who are doing options also would have got a maximum in 1 minute. The ones only who did it with a variable would have taken a lot of time. Whichever ways, level A question. Let's have a look at the next question. Question from logs, and not very difficult. Should have got this. We've been talking about doing logs so many times, so you should have got that. 4 log x to the base 10 can be written as 4 log x upon log 10 plus 4 log x to the base 100. So upon log 100 can be written as log 10 square, we'll come to that, plus 8 log x upon log 1000, which can be written as log 10 cube, is equal to 13. So here we have 4 log x upon log 10 plus 4 log x upon log 100 is log 10 square. That will become 2 log 10. So 2 cuts over here, plus 8 log x upon log 1000. That is 3 log 10 because 1000 is 10 cube. So 3 log 10 is 13. Log x upon log 10 common. You are left with 4 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 8 by 3. Let's do that in the rough work. 6 plus 8 by 3. 18 plus 8, 26 by 3 is equal to 13. So therefore log x, 13 ones are 13 twos are 2 log x is equal to 3 log 10. 2 log x is nothing but log x square. 3 log 10 is nothing but log 1000. Get rid of log on both sides. X square is 1000. So x is 31 point something something. 31 square is 961. 32 square is 1024. Only again the last step might have been a little bit confusing for some of you all. Greatest integer not exceeding x. So x is 31 point something something something. It cannot be 32. Even if 31.6, 31.5, doesn't matter. Now, they have said greatest integer not exceeding x. So, greatest integer not exceeding x will be 31. And the answer for this question is 31. Because it was a standard log question, I am putting it as a level A. For some of you all, for the last step, maybe you all made an error because it was a theta question also, maybe a level B. Let's have a look at the next question. A glass is filled with milk. 2/3 of its content is poured out and replaced with water. If this process is repeated 2 more times, 2/3 is pouring out 2/3 of the content and replacing water is repeated 3 more times, sorry. So total 4 times the process was done. Then the final ratio of milk to water in the glass is how much? Very frankly, the options are also so easy. Milk and water, they have to add up to a multiple of 3, the way the question is. So these two options, don't look at my answer. This total is 27, this total is 81. 3 raised to 4 is 81. If I didn't have time in the exam situation, I would have just marked this and gone ahead. But otherwise, I would start with 81. Let's assume there are 81 liters. So 2/3 is removed. So initially 81 liters of milk and 0 liters of water. 2/3 is removed. So 27 is left. 1/3 is left. Which means over here we'll get 54. Then again, 1/3. You just concentrate on what is left over here of milk. 1/3 of this is left. So 1/3 of this will be how much? 9. Right? 1/3 of 27 will be 9. 4 times you have to do. We have done 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. 3 will be left 1/3. And 4th time only 1 will be left. This will be 80. Answer is 1:80. Definitely a level A question. Should have got this question easily. Next question, the initial data, the way it was given to us, the question was a little bit difficult. They have told us these 3 quadratic equations have one common root, one common negative root. That means one of the values of x is negative and that is common for all 3 of them. We need to find the value of 2m plus 3n. After thinking for a couple of minutes for this question, I realized if I took equation 1, 2, added them and subtracted 3 from that. So that is equation 1 plus equation 2 minus equation 3. Let's see what would I get. So x square plus mx plus 9 plus x square plus nx plus 17 minus the third equation. So minus x square minus mx minus nx minus 35 would be 0. 1x square and another x square cut out. Mx and minus mx come out, cut out. Plus nx minus nx cut out. Only 1x square left. 9 plus 7 is 26. 26 minus 35 is minus 9. X square minus 9 is 0, which means x square is 9. So x is plus or minus 3. That means the common negative root which we want will be x is minus 3. That means x is minus 3 is common in all of them. So if I substitute x as 3 over here, minus 3 over here, what will I get? I will get the value of m. So I'll get 9 minus 3m is equal to minus 9, right? That will be negative 3m will be equal to negative 18 and m will be 6. Let's leave that over there. M is 6 we got. Now let's talk about n. Put it over here. Put x as minus 3 over here. So that will give me 9 minus 3n plus 17 is 0. So 17 plus 9, 26 is 3n. Leave it as it is because they've asked for 2m plus 3n. 2m will be 12 plus 3n is 26. So answer is 38. If you had realized the first step, it was very simple. Otherwise, it was a level C question. You would have not got it only most probably. Let's have a look at the next question. The next question is a question on averages. I'm going to show you a couple of approaches for this question. Let's have a look at it. There are 4 numbers such that the average of the first 2 numbers is 1 more than the first number. So if I take the 4 numbers as A, B, C and D, the average of the first 2 numbers, that is A plus B upon 2, is 1 more than A. That means the average of the first 2 numbers is A plus 1. So I'll get A plus B is 2A plus 2. So I get B minus A is 2. Right, leave it over here. Now what have they said? The average of the first three numbers, that is a plus b plus c upon 3, is 2 more than the average of the first two numbers. The average of the first two numbers was a plus 1. So 2 more than that. So a plus 1 plus 2, that is a plus 3. So I'll get a plus b plus c is 3a plus 9, and I'll get b minus 2a plus c is equal to 9. Leave it over here as it is. And then they've said average of the all four numbers, that is a plus b plus c plus d upon 4, is 3 more than the average of the first three numbers. The average of three numbers is a plus 3. 3 more than that will become a plus 6. So I'll get a plus b plus c plus d is 4a plus 24. And then we've got b minus 3a plus c plus d is 24. I want to find what? The difference between the largest and the smallest number. That means I want d minus a. Start substituting, remove everything. B can be written as a plus 2. In any one equation, put everything. Suppose in the last equation, b is a plus 2 minus 3a. What is c? Over here also put b as a plus 2. So a plus 2 minus 2a plus c is 9. So we've got c minus c is equal to 9 minus 2, 7, and 7 plus a. So instead of c, I can write 7 plus a plus d is 24, and hopefully I should get what I want. D is equal to a minus 3a plus a, that is d minus a is equal to 24 minus 7 minus 2, that will come out to be 17 minus 2, 15, and d minus a is 15. Now, this was an okay method. I did not like it too much. There was definitely a better method you could have done. Now, this is one approach you can do in an exam situation. If nothing clicked to you, this is what you could have done, and maybe this would make it a level B question. Let's have a look at one more approach which we can do over here. What I did was I took the first number as a and left the second number blank for a second. Now, what have they said? That the average of the two numbers is 1 more than a. That means the average of the first two numbers is a plus 1. That means the total of the first two numbers is 2a plus 2. That means the second number definitely became a plus 2. Then only the total will become 2a plus 2. Right? Now, let's understand it further. The average of the first three numbers is 2 more than the average of the first two numbers. Average of first two numbers was a plus 1. So average of three numbers is 2 more. So a plus 3. So total is 3 times a plus 3. That is 3a plus 9. So I want the total to come out to be 3a plus 9. So a will come plus 7 will come. Total is 3a plus 9. Now average of the first four numbers is, now over here the average of three numbers was a plus 3, right? Is 3 more than that. So average of four numbers is a plus 6, 3 more than this, into 4. The total became 4a plus 24. So to reach 4a plus 24, the fourth number will have to be a. We already have a 9. So I'll need a 15. So the last number is a plus 15. Difference between the first and the last number, 15. And that's my answer. And if you did this method, it becomes a level A question. So how the same question with a different method becomes a level A, and with a different method becomes a level B. Let's have a look at the next question. Question from time, speed, distance. And there's a particular concept, I had been speaking about, I had spoken about one about the reels also in our countdown to CAT days, is time taken after meeting to reach at a particular point for each of them. Based on that, this question could have been done. Two places A and B are 45 kilometers apart and are connected by a straight road. Anil goes from A to B while Sunil goes from B to A, starting at the same time, and they cross each other after 1 hour 30 minutes. That is 1.5 hours. So can I say if the speed of Anil is SA and speed of Sunil is SS, so they are going in opposite directions, so relative speed will be SA plus SS into 1.5 hours, that is 3 by 2 should be equal to 45. 3 ones are 3 15s are. So the first condition which I immediately get is SA plus SS is 30. Leave it over here. Okay. Now, they cross each other in exactly 1 hour 30 minutes. If Anil reaches B exactly 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil reaches B. Now what I am going to do is, let's take this was A and B. Anil is going from here to here. Sunil is going from here to here. They meet wherever, they meet over here, suppose. Just for example, I don't know who's faster and all, I don't know right now. Now, initially they have said that Anil reaches 1 hour 15 minutes after Sunil reaches A. So Anil takes more time. So in short, Anil is slower than Sunil, which means in this case also Anil has covered less distance and Sunil has covered more distance out of the 45, whatever that was. We'll come to all that. Now, which also tells me, if I look at the sum of their speeds was 30. So if both of them were equal, they both were 15. But I know Anil is slower than Sunil and Sunil is faster than Anil. So answer has to be less than 15, and immediately two options are out. So even with options, if you try after this step, it was pretty straightforward, I thought so. Okay. Now, let's work with the regular approach. So let's assume time taken by Sunil after crossing be t hours. So time taken by Anil to cross will be t plus 1 hour 15 minutes. 1 hour 15 minutes is 5 by 4 of an hour. So t plus 5 by 4. Right? And we also know what is the concept we know. Let's understand what are the different concepts we know. We also know the time taken to meet is the square root of the product of these two time. That means 1 hour 30 minutes, that is 3 by 2, is square root of t multiplied by t plus 5 by 4. Now, what will we get if we take squares on both sides? We'll get 9 by 4 is t square plus 5 by 4t. Take LCM, 4 is the LCM, 4 will cut out on both sides. So I'll get 4t square plus 5t minus 9 is 0. 9 4s is 36. Factors will be also minus 4 and plus 9. So t will be 1. If you solve this whole quadratic equation, you will get the factors will be minus 4 and plus 9. So minus 4 by 4. One value of t is 1 and the other will be negative, which will be discarded. So time taken, this is the time taken by Sunil after crossing is 1. So time taken by Anil will be 1 plus 5 by 4. That will be 9 by 4. So what have they asked for? The speed of Anil they've asked. So time taken by Anil for the whole journey, not only the second part, the whole journey. The first 3 by 2 hours plus again 9 by 4 over here. 1 plus 5 by 4 is 9 by 4. So how much will that become? 6 plus 9, 15 by 4 is the total time taken by Anil for what? For a distance of 45. So his that's time, right? So speed will be 45 divided by 15 by 4. So into 4 by 15. 15 ones are 15 threes. The answer will be 12. Third option. Lot of different approaches you could have used for this. You could have avoided this calculation also if you wanted, and couple of different approaches were possible. But I thought this was a level B question. I have been talking about this concept a lot of times, and you should have definitely revised this concept and gone for the CAT. Let's have a look at work at a question from Time and Work. Renu would take 15 days working 4 hours a day per day to complete a task, whereas Seema would take 8 days working 5 hours a day to complete the same task. Suppose Renu is doing R units per day. In 15 days working at 4 hours per day is same as what Seema can do doing S units per day. 8 days into 5. So can I say 60 R is equal to 40 S? 0 0 cut. 2 3s are 2 2s are. R upon S is 2 upon 3. So I can actually take for my calculations R is 2 and S is 3 only. These are the possible values. So if R is 2, S is 3, and my total work would become 120. Total work would become 120 units. Either on this side or on that side, wherever you substitute the value of R or S, you will get 120 units. They decide together to complete this task. Seema agrees to work for double the number of hours per day as Renu, while Renu agrees to work for double number of days as Seema. If Renu is working for 2 hours per day, so if Renu is working for 2 hours per day, so Renu per day is able to do 2 units. She is working for 2 hours and we don't know how many days. Let's call it as 2D days because she is going to do double the number of days as Seema. right? 2D days, while Seema will do how much? 3 units per day. Seema agrees to work for double number of hours, so she'll work for 4 hours for D days. Let's go through this properly. Seema is working for 3 units per hour. She's working for 4 hours per day for D days, and this is what we want to find at the end. Renu will do 2 units per day, per hour, 2 hours per day for 2D days, and this total work has to be equal to 120. So 4 2s are 8D plus 12D is equal to 120. 20D is equal to 120. D is equal to 6. And no doubt, level A question, very straightforward time and work question. D is equal to 6 is the answer. Number of days for which Seema will work. So with that, we come to the end of this solution of Quant Section slot 1 for CAT 2024. You can stay tuned for LRDI and verbal will come up soon, and the other slots will also come up soon. I hope you've done well. The ones who have done slot 1 or gone through slot 1, I'm sure you all will go through your paper and understand what are your scores, what are your marks, and what small errors you all made which could have been avoided, or what better methods could have been done, and hope that helps you in the other exams.